Tell me what you see when you look at me. Do you see another brother lost in these streets looking for his soul?
Trying to find my soul.
Or do you see another brother searching for lost souls in these streets? A street soldier.
Street soldier.
Here to help you get that chip off your shoulder, warm your colder days and sober your drunken ways, and find a way to help you get over these hurdles placed in our path. And this is not meant to amuse you. This is for all those who have questions but are afraid to ask.
I won't be afraid. I won't be afraid. No. When times get hard, you lose your way. Open your mind and hear what I say.
This is a message for the hard and the soft. To those who tune in weekly and to those who keep an eye out for 8 p.m. on Sundays and turn their radios off. The truth hurts. The cloth has been pulled. We're walking around half dead. Use this show as your IV. Alive and free is a new movement. We've achieved self-destruction. A street soldier promotes self-improvement.
Streets couldn't be no colder, so I gotta be a soldier. It shouldn't be this hard for me. Even when it seems so hopeless, I gotta keep my focus. I'm glad to be alive and free, yeah. Streets couldn't be no colder, so I gotta be a soldier. It shouldn't be this hard for me. Even when it seems so hopeless, I gotta keep my focus. I'm glad to be alive and free, yeah.
Live and Free Radio, Street Soldiers. Look, what we're going to do tonight, I'll tell you when. I want to hit I call it the reset button. We always do this midway through the year, sort of review all the things that we've talked about in the first half of the year and set up things for, the rest of it. I want to get your input on some things you'd like us to talk about, and then, just sort of review how things are going. What they call take a deep breath. Things are moving fast and furious in the world, not just here, in the world. Lord. So we're going to do that. We're going to do that in a little while. I will let you know when. First, G-Biz, you mentioned you're seeing to go J. Cole, and have you seen this new BET series, Hip Hop Tales?
That Tales?
Yeah.
I've seen maybe like an episode.
Yeah.
I didn't fully understand the one I saw.
Which one did you see?
I saw the one, I understood it, but I saw the one where they had like, it was like the cops were all black and they were shooting young white teens. Something like that. It was kind of odd. Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand the concept they were going for, but
yeah. Well, I got to see what's going on, right? Hip hop.
Yeah.
So the one I caught was Cold Hearted.
Okay.
And it's on the last few days, and it was based on, I guess, Meek Mill's song, Cold Hearted.
Yeah.
So they wove a whole story around that about a mega rapper, who gets killed, and they trying to figure out, and he gets killed at the beginning of the thing, and
of the
show.
show.
Whole thing is to go back, and these two cops are trying to figure out who did it, and they got the usual suspects, his homie. I'm saying usual because his girl, his rival, and the record company exec, and it's and I guess I'm wondering, it's all. It's almost like stereotypical. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's all about mess. It's all about mess and drama around hip hop. I guess.
Yeah.
I guess that's the lure, right? That's the lure, right? And they craft these stories around. I guess it's like almost the two go together, which is in a way. Is it always true? I guess it's been true enough times for them to say every story is going to be like that. Is there ever a glorious ending? Did anything?
Not when anybody ends getting shot.
No. But just just hip hop.
Any glorious endings in
mess.
Yeah.
Jay-Z's stuff.
Jay-Z's.
Right?
I think Jay-Z's story is a great ending in hip hop history. The man is now a multi-millionaire, almost a billionaire. He's clearly transformed his life and elevated to another level.
Yeah. Well, they're plenty
same thing
right?
with Diddy.
Right? But I guess it's TV and they got to show death and mess.
They need action, Doc. It's got to be captivating.
Well, you could have action and have a, I don't know. The
where they
series
do-
just
where they
started,
do
so
that
maybe it'll be, as they go along. But, and it turns out in this one is, it was his homeboy that shot him. It's just,
Leave it to BET.
yeah, leave it to BET. Yeah, right. Yeah, I was going to say, leave it to BET. Leave it to BET.
Yeah, right.
You know the only good thing about this
Hmm.
is people get to act.
Yeah, exactly. At least
Right,
we
you
on the
know.
same wavelength,
Yeah, right,
Doc.
right.
That's the only thing I can think about.
Right.
They
You're looking for
hiring
a
black
job,
actors.
They hiring black actors.
They hiring
right?
black actors. So that's great. That's a
faces
good
you've
thing.
never seen show up. You do your
Awesome.
craft, and you got maybe getting. You may end up in
Get
a
a
body
little bit of-
bag, but you get a little play.
You should get paid for it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Well, a little change,
Yeah,
whatever
little
they
change,
got.
little
whatever
change,
they,
little change.
Ladies still don't even want to look up.
Okay.
It's the opposite of Alive and Free, which is where I want to go to next. I want you to key on this one. It's a Alive and Free thing, and I just say it's just an amazing thing, and we always have believed that this thing would help anybody, anywhere. I just spent, in fact, Larry's not here because Larry was supposed to be part of the training that we do this week, but
Okay.
he had something happen in his family, so he emailed me and said that he had to go down south. But I want to thank the 25, 27 people that showed up this week to put up with me for 3 days and, learn about what we call the Alive and Free prescription. And they were so just juiced to be able to take it back home. And we've had people over the years come from places near and far and to places I never thought, we would be able to reach. And so we got one of them on the phone tonight. And this one is just remarkable. I'm trying to search for words, but better than come up for words, let me just let them come on the air. And so we're calling this one Alive and Free Canadian style. A Canadian story. So let's bring to the phones Tamiko Ferguson. Tamiko.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
You up in Kingston, Ontario, Canada?
I am.
Yes. Across the border, the other way.
Yes.
And, when we got this, we just want to just share the joy, right? Share the joy with everybody about you, our meeting you, you're coming down and listening and taking it back and it culminating in this wonderful, wonderful thing that happened a few weeks ago, and we want to give that to you. So give that to our listening audience just to show this Alive and Free thing works. It just does wondrous things anywhere. So first of all, somebody else wants to say hello to you.
Yeah, it's delightful to hear your voice, Tamiko. How are you?
I'm good, Mrs. Stell. How are you?
It's so good to hear you.
So, Tamika, why don't you tell everyone, how you came in contact with Alive and Free Omega Boys Club, how long ago that was, and how you found out, and just people don't know anything. So, just go right ahead.
I don't know how long ago it was now. Quite a while ago, probably.
When was it?
At least 10 years.
10 years?
Over 10 years,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
And I was reading a book, and you were referenced in that book, and so I did a little bit more research on the internet, and I found your book, and I read it, and I thought, this is good stuff, and I wanted to come and see it for myself. So I called and asked about coming down to check things out, and you said, sure, people are welcome anytime. So my friend and I came down, and I thought, this is really good, and I wanted to come back for the training, and so a colleague and I came back and did the training, and then we brought a group of boys down that I was teaching, that we were teaching, twice. We came down, and then you invited me to come to some of the conferences, and so...
Stop. You're going too fast. We're going to weave
Too
this
fast.
tale slowly, okay? We're going to draw this out. First of all, the book that she's talking about is Street Soldier, One Man Struggle, Save a Generation, One Life at a Time. And although, that book was written now, almost 20 years ago, people still buy the book. People still read it as it reads like, yesterday.
Great stuff.
It really does. And when you came, when you first came, I got it. So when you first met us and you came to the train, what did you think? I mean, what did you... I love Malcolm X's phrase, find out for yourself, and that's what Tamiko did. She came in and I don't know, but what did you think when you first came to the club and met us and the training and the whole bit? Or do you have an open mind, or what was it?
Yeah, I thought what you were doing was really remarkable. I mean, I think sometimes when you read it in a book or you see it in a movie, right, it's dressed up a little bit and to kind of sell it. And that wasn't what was happening. What was happening there was real. And what you were reading in the book was really what was happening. And I mean, kids know, right, what's real and what's not. And they're only going to stick around if it means something. And so that's what we saw when we came down, for sure.
Yeah, and that's nice to hear because, that speaks for itself. The fact that you walk in and actually saw what you read in the book. At the time, what was your job? What were you doing? And this is real important because this is why you were interested in the first place. What was your job at the time?
My job at the time was teaching a high school program for boys who were deemed likely to drop out or fail out of school. They were in grades 9 to 12, so high school. And we had them in our program for most of the day. We taught them all of the compulsory subjects, and then we tried to, use the curriculum as a vehicle more to teach them about life and about breaking their thinking patterns and thinking in a new way that would help them to be successful.
And right then and there, I think anybody who teaches anywhere gets that. Yeah. You got young people, young men in this case, who are, on their last leg, educational leg, have had some problems in other settings, and they go, but down here we call them continuation schools, right? I don't know if they go there. But, it's the same thing. And, she felt that maybe I could find something here that would help them. Just talk to people one more time about just how challenging that work is to do.
Well, it is. It's tough, right? You got a bunch of people who have been told for a really long time that they aren't worth anything and that they aren't going to be successful for a variety of reasons, from the neighborhood they come from or the family they come from, and trying to convince them otherwise when they've been told for 14, 15, 17 years or longer that they aren't any good. Convincing them that they are good and they can do something with their lives it's not an easy thought process to break.
The other thing, GBS, I want to say is this is another country, right? This is Canada, and they're different, right? And I always felt this was universal, but clearly, the clientele or how can I put it? The young people I was working with looked a certain way. Yeah. Young people she was working with looked a different way, right? And I think the initial thing was, but they got the same stuff going on in many ways. And talk about that, and then we'll talk about, when you first brought the young people, your thoughts about that.
Well, yeah, I think they do, right? They look different, but what they're living in lots of ways is very similar in the messages that they've had and the bad information that they've had and the peer influence. And I think, the neighborhood that the kids that I was teaching came from, the high school dropout rate was sort of twice that of the rest of the city. So if you were growing up in that area, you didn't have a good chance of finishing your high school education, and certainly not going on to anything past high school. And once you don't have a high school education, there are only so many options, right, for what you're going to be able to do or what you're going to be sort of pushed towards. And so really getting them an education is the first step in breaking that cycle that they're stuck in.
Wow. Again, I'm just thinking, going around the world from Thailand to, and to Nigeria, to Montreal, Canada, and talking to young people, the tales are the same. I guess, G-Biz, I guess I'm saying the stuff they go through is the same. Yeah. So you went back, you took the training, and then we took a very ambitious step. You brought some of those young people. That's how serious you were. They came. Look, I got kids that came. I got people that came. I can't come across the bay. I can't come down the hill. I can't come. She came and brought these young people from Canada to the club.
Was it 10? Was it 10, Tamiko?
I
The
think we
first
brought
time? Yeah.
9 with us the first time.
9 young people from Kingston,
Canada,
Carrico to
wow.
San Francisco. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
It was serious.
Oh, yeah, and I remember them coming in, into the club,
Yeah.
lined all up against the wall, and again, it was like, you say it to me. To me, it was like, related, but we're all family. What's that saying we use, right? That it was like. And I got to say this, everybody was open. And you describe it. I don't want to describe it. Just what was that like? It had to be some, maybe a little bit. I don't know how things going to work coming down here, but what was that like?
They were nervous, for sure. I mean, it was certainly, many of them had never been out of Kingston, never mind out of the country, and on a plane. And there were a whole bunch of firsts for everybody, I think. And they were nervous coming in. They didn't know really what to expect. I had been there, and I knew that it was a safe place and a good place to be, but they weren't sure. And then they got there, and they realized how powerful it was, and they were, I think, sort of envious of that environment, and that that was a place that people could come to every week. And they heard other kids talking about their stories and said, "So we're really not all that different. And if they can do it and, they're making these choices, then why can't we do that?" And that was kind of the whole point.
Yeah. I remember the thing that got me the most was that their willingness to stand up in front of a bunch of strangers, right? And just talk, and just talk, which is what generally when young people, come in, we hope they will do. And they really they didn't have time to get to know us because they was getting ready to go to leave. So I remember them standing up and talking, and didn't take, a little, and it's always the first one that sets the tone for the rest, right? You step out, you say something, "Oh, it's not so bad," and then how welcome they were, from the boys in the hood, basically.
Yeah.
And it was really, really, really wonderful, and you took them back, and then you started to use the prescription, everything you learned, with them, and you and a couple others, another staff at the school. And I remember us having the national conference in Sacramento. I mean, I guess as I'm talking about this, just the dedication she has to this. Here she brought 2 more. Was it 2? How many did you bring to Sacramento?
We brought 3 with us, I think.
It's always one more because I keep seeing 4. But
Like that.
for me, it's always one more. At first, I thought it was 10. Then I thought it was 4. But yeah.
But this was a year later, year and a half later, bringing some more young people down here. And then it's just, she became a member of the national. You know what is nice to list on the website? All your Live and Free partners. Somebody in Canada. Damn, man, y'all got something going on in Canada. But it's her. It's all her. And before I go on one more time, she hasn't said a lot, but I don't think there's any doubt that Tamiko, if I could describe her, she is non-negotiable, and her obvious mentor to me is, what's your name, Lady Estelle?
Oh my goodness.
No,
well, see, I don't know. I mean, that's not something I could say.
I'm gonna let Tamiko say it.
Well, I mean, no. See, I wouldn't say it.
What you think about Mrs. Estelle, Tamiko?
I think she is an incredible woman. She is wise and strong,
and the Mac Blaster, as they call it. Now, your dream was always, and when we teach this whole thing, G-Biz, it's not about, we say alive and free and educated, but, the big thing is alive and free. Obviously, alive and free and employed, alive and free, period, right?
Yeah.
And your dream was always to see if you could move some of these, any of these young men onto college and through college. And I know something you were working hard on, and lo and behold, I got this picture and this message, this excited message. is from Tamiko with a big old grin on his face, and it was a picture of these two young men. You want to see? And you want to see a picture? Who are now cap and gown college graduates.
Wow.
What was that like for you, seeing these two young men? You talk about them because you've been. I mean, this is a personal journey for you. Talk about both of them as they hold their college diplomas.
They are pretty incredible young men. They have been affiliated as mentors in the program that I used to teach, and they decided that they were going to go to Toronto to take the Bachelor of Child and Youth Care program 4 years ago. And we were excited for them, and we were nervous for them because it was so far away. And I think it's like a marathon, right? Every year you kind of complete one leg of it, but it doesn't mean that success is guaranteed. You've got to keep working at it, and you have to ask people for help when you need it. And I think lots of times things from home and other influences cause people to stumble, right? It's not necessarily even that you're not working hard enough, it's that other things in your life happen, and you have to figure out how to prioritize your education over everything else that's going on, and that's hard to do sometimes. And they did. They persevered through all 4 years, and at the end of every year, we would breathe a sigh of relief, and then we'd hold our breath again, and not because they're not smart and talented and hardworking, but because it's hard. 4 years is a long haul. And then all of a sudden we realized that they were almost there. They were writing their thesis, and they were just about done. And then about a month ago, they graduated, and I got to go to their graduation and take pictures and be part of it.
Yeah, that's what's up.
So
wow.
Even before this event, you had to get them through high school.
They had to get through. Yes, they did, and they were.
And I know they did it, but I say you had to because you were right in it with them, and that was a struggle too.
I think that was a struggle for them at times, and again, not because they aren't intelligent young men, but because it's tough to do when not everybody around you is doing that,
right,
and doing it successfully, right?
Right.
And this is a story which resonates with all of our listeners. There's so many young people who have to dare to be different. Everything that we talk about, right? They have to just put those things aside, deal with all the fearships and the peer pressure and all of that, and move forward. And as I look at this picture, I got the picture, and he says, "My boys did it."
That's great.
Oh, isn't that great?
That's
Bachelor's degree is complete. And I went, "Oh my God, congratulations. So proud of Adam and Dylan. Yay." And I put congratulations to you. And she said, it's pretty amazing. I'm so proud of them. And, I know how she feels. Lady Estelle knows how she feels. And to think that we played a small part in making this happen. Wow. We got. I know we got one of them. Do we got both of them on the line? We got both of them. Let's. I know we're going to lock one at a time. So let's lock Tamiko in. Can we lock Tamiko in, G-Biz?
I already got her up.
You got her. Okay.
So whoever Bree pull up.
Okay.
Right
so let's. Which one is this? Who's first? Dylan. Okay, we're gonna go line Dylan. Dylan, I hope you've been listening. Dylan, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. How are you?
How are you? Dylan. Oh my God! You come from Canada. Oh, I might sing "Old Canada," except I don't really know it. But how you doing, man? First of all, congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Wow, what a journey for you from the time, obviously Ms. Ferguson met you and then we met you to your college degree.
Okay. Wow.
How'd you do it?
Well, it wasn't easy to say the least. There's a lot of ups and downs, but obviously Tamiko helped a lot, and having as good a support system that I did have helped tremendously. And I don't know what to say. It's all kind of a blur. It happens when you're in the thick of things, it's like 4 years seems like 10 years away. But now that it's over, it's like, oh,
It
4
went by-
years happened so quickly.
Yeah, in a blink of an eye. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You remember your first trip down here when you first met me and Lady Estelle and you know, but you remember the first time you came down?
Yeah, it was about 4 years ago.
I'm smiling. I can't even talk. I really am.
And now they college graduates.
Yeah. I just. What'd you major in? What? I mean, they do major.
Master program, right?
Huh? Yeah.
I just went through the Bachelor of Child and Youth Care program, so
Ooh.
I guess that's my major. I don't know how that works. Yep.
Yeah. Bachelor of Child Care. Tamiko, you can talk to him. Go ahead. He can hear you. What do you want to say to him?
I just want them to know how proud I am of them. I mean, Dylan worked at one of the schools that I work at this year as a literacy tutor. Just at the end of the year, we bring in some literacy tutors in May and June. And Dylan worked there, and he worked with one young man who crossed the stage and was the first in his family to get a high school diploma because Dylan helped him finish up the stuff that he needed for his coursework. He was getting discouraged, and he had almost, I think, given up on the idea of graduating from high school and was kind of done listening to the adults that had been around. And then Dylan came in and got him back on track, and this young man finished high school because Dylan helped him get there.
Wow, great.
The more you
That's
know,
great.
the more you owe.
That is wonderful.
Oh,
That is
Lord.
just wonderful.
Dylan, you the man.
I wouldn't go that far, but thank you.
No, that is just wonderful. That's just wonderful. I mean, people say it different ways. Each one teach one. We say the more you know, the more you owe. But had it not been for you doing that, you know, you wouldn't have been able to reach back and help this young man. And so I just double congratulations. I didn't even know that part. I did not even know that part. What's your future? What do you want to do now, or have you already embarked on that?
I think my goal currently is to work in a school in some capacity due to my opinion, a lot of the school system failed me. A lot of teachers who are supposed to be leaders and guiding the way basically told me I wasn't going to amount to anything. So my goal is to fix that system from the inside and hopefully guide some of the youth that were in situations such as myself and help them get to where I am now. That's the goal anyway.
You could not have said it any better. We're giving you a live and free Canada. On the phone with this is Miss Tamiko Ferguson. They're Kingston, Ontario. You know, where is I gotta look at a map. Anytime I talk about some place and I can't visualize it, I get mad. I really do. You know, no, you should be able to, talk about a place and it's right there, it's right there, it's right there. When I was teaching, kids are horrible about geography. GBS. I used to teach kids that didn't know the difference between a city, a country, and a continent. Yeah. No, really. I mean, seriously, they did not know, they was like Paris is a continent. No, Paris is a continent. No, Paris is a city. So, and one of the things we try to do is have maps around, because you talk about a place outside of the United States. Oh, look, Ann, see, give you a map right there. All right, this is right above Wisconsin, Michigan. I see it now. Yeah, I've been to Toronto. Oh, it's right. Oh, yeah. I ain't that far. All right, okay. So I see where it is now that we're talking to. And Tamiko became part of the Alive and Free family, took the training herself, took it back to work with the young people that she was teaching. Some of you who had challenging lives up to that point, to say the least. And as a member of our, as a partner, member of our national, international consortium, and I always wanted for the young people, if this is something they wanted to do, if they want to pursue a college education, to do so. And lo and behold, in this beautiful picture that I showed Ann, and maybe I'll flash on the camera, 2 of them graduated this year with their college degrees. We just spoke to Dylan. We're now going to Adam. We're going to speak to Adam Adam, it's Dr. Marshall, it's Mrs. Stell. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Adam, how are you?
Adam,
my goodness, congratulations.
Thank you.
Big congrats, man. Big congrats. Did it go by fast?
Oh, yeah. So fast.
What was the toughest thing about it, like those 4 years of college?
I think the toughest thing about it for me, well, like I'm a person with a helping nature. So like when a problem arises, even if it's outside of school, I just want to jump both feet in and just help. And I think the hardest thing for me to learn was that it's okay to be selfish sometimes.
Yeah.
It's okay to let people solve their own problems when it doesn't necessarily need your help, like fully. And so it was just for me to take a step back and be like, okay, I need to focus on my school. I think they can handle this on their own. Whereas before I would just jump both feet in and just be like, all right, my thing can wait. Yeah.
See, I'm tripping because listening to both of you, you guys sound so different than the young men that came down here years ago. Your personal journey from, you know, when you being at school with Tamiko and moving forward. What was that like? Going back to the Adam that we met, the one that struggled in school early. What this can you talk a little bit about that? Not giving up my move. Go ahead, if you don't mind.
So, like, rephrase, like, what was the question again?
Well, the big thing is...
That's hard for me to hear.
Oh, I'm sorry. Your journey, your personal journey from the young man that we met and Tamiko met to this college graduate. What were some things you had to personally change to make all this happen?
Well, I'd have to thank Tamiko, obviously, and, like, all the people who kind of just been there, and I'd like to thank Dylan as well.
Yeah.
Because Dylan had a huge role in, like, helping me through school and whatnot. But throughout my life, like, a lot of supports in my life, like Tamiko, who believed in me when, like, no one else did, and kind of gave me that extra kick in the butt to push me forward when I didn't necessarily think that I could move forward. With all these people saying, like, oh, you can't make it to college, or all these people who are like, oh, well, this guy doesn't care about his education, then why should I? But it's those people who care when we're not necessarily caring ourselves. And it kind of just creates an atmosphere where you're like, oh, maybe I am important. And it just helps you propel forward.
My Lord.
Not only important, but talented, gifted, capable, able, just amazing. I mean, and that's something that was evident the minute that we saw you and met you. So clearly, Tamiko wasn't going to let you get away with not bringing out everything that you had in you to not just reach your goals, but to surpass them.
I know, and that's a gift I hope to, like, bring forward as well, is be able to see people's potential, because it's very hard to see someone's potential when they don't even see it. I would like to be able to do that eventually as well. Maybe I can now, I don't know.
You're doing it right now on the radio.
I don't know. Adam already does it, I think, and I don't know that he knows that. I've taught, I think, almost all of his brothers, and they all say on a regular basis that he is who they want to be. And his mom went back and finished up high school, too, while Adam was at college.
No, come on now. You got to be kidding. Really?
Yeah. And, so I was doing my internship, and I was, like, helping her write some things as well.
You were helping your mom?
Yeah.
See, they need to write this stuff up instead of putting all that mess on you know.
Tamiko, this sounds like the making of a book from you. Have you thought about it?
Or an article, at least, please.
Have you thought about it?
Oh, I would love to write a book one day. That would be amazing.
Well, you know, you've got some material, and I think that I certainly would buy it. In fact, I'm sure both Dr. Marshall and I would be, have you here again talking about your book. So I think the next time we hear from you, we need to hear. And Dylan, Adam, encourage her to get started, okay? Be on her like she was on you. Don't let her get away with it.
And I guess with all the mess in the world, with all the bad stories, and a lot of times people will say, the three of you, I didn't know anything about this. Well, it's because it's good. Good doesn't. Yeah, that's why we have to showcase this, because the only stuff that gets on the news is the bad stuff. I use the word bad, but this is unbelievable. This is humanity to me at its finest. This is just wonderful. I'm just blown away, and the fact that we had any small part in making this happen is I don't know. I don't even know. And it's Sunday, so it's religion. Anyway. I'm like, oh my God! I mean, your family.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a little bit much for us.
Like, these are our kids. Yeah, like, you guys are our kids. Yeah. You got to know that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Clearly, I remember when you came and you went back and then you did it. It's one thing about it. Some people talk about it, some people do it. And this photo I got right here that we're going to put on our website, right, Ann? We're going to blow you up as much as we can. It's just wonderful. To the three of you, and it's the three of you, you take over. I can't talk. You talk. No, I'm having a hard time because it's more than I thought it would be. It is amazing.
I'm not going to have a consider this tonight. So we have to talk all the way up to the end.
What do you guys want to say to each other before we let you go? Because it's almost midnight. In fact, it's after midnight back there. What do you want to say to each other? Because all three can hear each other, I think.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess I would like to start by congratulating Dylan. I didn't know that he had helped that young person succeed. Life gets too busy, and we haven't really had a chance to talk a whole lot since we've gotten back. But congratulations and good work.
Dylan can't speak back to him, huh? Because see if we can get Dylan to speak back to Adam through the mic. Dylan, you want to say something to Adam?
Yeah, just congratulations on graduating, and we're roommates for 4 years of that, so thanks for putting up with my nonsense. I'm sure that wasn't the easiest. And I think I'm more proud of him than I could ever put into words. Just I've known him for probably around 15 years, and just being able to be part of that journey and seeing him grow into the person he is now I can't put into words just how proud of him I am.
Wow.
I will echo that. I am awfully proud of the both of them, and they are making my job easier because now it's not this imaginary thing graduating from college, right? It's not like a thing that happens to other people or that happens in the movies. It's a thing that happens to people that the kids that I work with know. And I can say, Adam did it and Dylan did it, and they can say, okay, so maybe I can do it too. Maybe it's not so crazy. And that's huge. And their families were a great support and a great part of that, and I've been lucky to work with them as well.
You do great work, Tamiko. You do amazing work, doesn't she, guys? Oh, my God.
It's got to be like an award we can give her or something, something. I'll make up one. Okay, I mean, this is... Congratulations to the three of you. Congratulations. This is wonderful. I'm glad we're able to, to put it out and showcase it right here on, and you're right. Anybody, anywhere can do it. And I guess, Tamiko, I want to say to you, and I'm sure Adam and Dylan will get this, because this happens to Lady Estelle and I all the time. You saw something in them that they couldn't see in themselves. And you helped to bring it out, and now the more you owe, the more you know, the more you owe thing continues, and that's just the way it is. We're not all related, but we're all family. I say it all the time, and this certainly proves it. Family across generations, family across borders. Family across skin color, if I can say that. Yeah. And in this day and age, a lot of folks are like the opposite of that, and I'm not going to say some of them folks are, but some of them run things. It's just wonderful. It's just wonderful for us to be able to do this just as human beings, as people. So thanks. D-Biz, you just heard about this for the first time. You want to holler at them and say something, then we got to let them go because it's late.
Yeah. I would just say continue doing the work that you're doing. Spread the blessings that you've already been that you have bestowed upon you, and just keep on pushing the message, man. Reach one, teach one, and hey, just Let it spread.
Yeah, it's all
alive
love.
and free.
Yeah, alive and free.
So I finally got something in the mail that's coming to Miko for both of you, and it takes a minute. They say it takes a minute, but Tamiko, whenever you get it, I know that you'll get in touch with them, and just know it's coming, guys.
I will, absolutely.
Okay, we're gonna let you go. Thanks for spending this time with us tonight, and I guess you can go get some rest.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, bye, Dylan. Bye, Adam. Bye, Tamiko.
Bye.
We'll see you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Okay. Man, Lord.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
Even his mama went back to school.
Man, I mean, yes.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's
Their
dope.
stories were not unlike stories.
Oh, same stuff.
The same stories, the same, and in many cases worse.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so Tamiko, for her just to hang with those boys until they finished, because her job changed.
Wow.
She went to a different job, different work, but her work was still getting those kids until they finished. I mean, getting them through high school was one thing, and that was huge.
Yeah.
But then through college too? Oh my goodness. Anyway, so yeah. Those are our kids from Canada. Okay? We claim them.
Okay, I got to keep talking because it's radio. Let me take them. How they say it in the MG? Let me take a moment. Right? Need a moment. Isn't that something, Brianna? Just tell me. Say something, Brianna. There's something. I can't wait till you graduate, girl. When you going to graduate? When you going to graduate, girl?
I graduate in spring 2018 from San Francisco State University.
We're going to make a big
with
deal
a
out
degree
there,
in?
Hmm?
With your degree with it?
Oh, and broadcasting and television. That's right.
Oh,
okay.
All right.
And I want everybody to be there.
We use the saying alive and free and educated. But there's always an
That's the
ellipsis.
goal.
There's those dots in between.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do the educated part unless you can stay alive and free.
Yeah.
And that's really what Dylan and Adam had to negotiate. That's always problematic. Remember, they had been kicked out of school.
Yeah.
They were on a downward spiral. And for us to be able to help them do that first part, and then for them to bring it home, and it's like a gold medal, man. It's like a gold medal. All right, we got a lot of stories like that. We'll be sharing with you over time as we find out about them, because sometimes we don't even find out about all the things that happen live and free. So let's let me take this deep breath and switch reels and let me throw out the number 800-765-3437, 800-765-3437. You can call it open lines. You can call it what's on your mind. I'm calling it sort of help us plan our show for the rest of the year, especially if there's anything you'd like us to talk about or anything that we've talked about so far and this, that you want us to revisit. I got some things that, in fact, we get Mr. Akins in here because I know he wants to. Okay, he got to bring his boys in here. We got to introduce his sons are here. We want to introduce them too. Let's take a minute and sort of talk. This is what we got. About a half a year left, and we've talked about a bunch of things here. And I'm looking for topics from our audience. One thing that you would like us to cover. So, G-Biz, I know, is there anything, and I'd really like to do a show on something that you guys really want. So, what is it? You've been talking about something in particular, but what do you want us to try and pick up at sometime this year? Knowing that we got our regular things to do, but.
I would like to talk and maybe converse about just eating habits and health.
Yeah.
As it relates to food and diet in the Black community.
Yeah.
I think that's very important. It's something we don't look at enough. We're so oftentimes caught up in just trying to live and make it in that day to day. You know what I mean? Just getting stuck on that hamster wheel. We don't really think about a lot of times the fuel that we put into our bodies and just the way that food is looked at in our community and a lot of options that we have. I would like to touch on that. I think that'd be something that'd be great.
Now, that was on my list before. It has gone straight to the top of the list just because of this. And I got to say, did you see the documentary I was
haven't. The one that you're talking about. I still haven't seen
man,
it. I gotta check it out.
Man, I mean, so I will mention to folks the documentary. It's on Netflix. It's called "What the Health," right? What the, and I'm about to cuss, the health. And when we do this show, when we do the food show, because now it's moving up, if you see that documentary, I really want to know, your thoughts about eating what you eat after you've seen that documentary.
Okay.
I really do. Because I know the effect it had on me.
Are you still off the meat?
Still. I am still off. Yes.
3 weeks clean?
Yes.
He didn't even eat the Chinese food we had at the training, which he usually always eats. That was different.
And this is hard. And I'm a lifelong. This is a lifelong. I mean, I'm the carnivore number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right?
It made a real impact on you.
It did. And I don't want to. What's one of the things we have? Some get it right away. Some get it sooner or later. Some never get it.
Yeah.
This is one of those things that hit me right away.
Yeah.
I was like, what? So yes, that's right in line. It's funny because the documentary, I saw it after you. I can't remember her name, the lady that we had in.
Kelly Carlisle.
Who does the garden.
Nonverbal, yeah.
Right? So it was almost a precursor, right? To me seeing, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
So I can't say that, day by day, but it's interesting. That's just me, But the food thing, yes. I think we owe it to our audience to have a serious conversation about that. And so I'm with you 100%.
Yeah.
I got an idea for a couple shows.
A couple shows, okay. What you got?
One, I don't know how to frame the question, but it's around the difference between feeling patriotic and feeling whether or not someone is actually racist, bigoted, or whatever that is. Because now, with the climate of the country, when I see an American flag, I don't think about patriotism. Doesn't come through my mind. First thing that comes through my mind is Trump supporter. And I caught myself thinking about that when I seen a couple of cars with the flag waving on it. Definitely through the 4th of July, when everybody have the flags posted in their house and whatever. And I had to stop and really do a self-check because I had to question, am I doing the same thing to folks in general that these folks are doing to me and others? When they see me, and I don't have to carry a flag, it's my skin. But I really do have emotions arise in me whenever I see an American flag. So I would like to see, do anybody else feel like that? What feelings are those? And am I justified in feeling that way when I see a flag based on what's going on now? Or should I work to give everybody the benefit of the doubt that when I see a flag, it could be somebody who is just patriotic versus somebody who is stumping for Trump, so to speak, or feel like they want to make America great again.
Yeah. Because that sort of symbolism was, I want to say, hijacked by, I'm using the word hijack, but I think that's strong enough. Became emblematic. How's that? That's a nicer word. By that particular group. And so, okay, I got that down.
And then the second idea for a show, I would like for us to do some in-depth conversation with some fathers that are doing it right.
Okay.
We key on a lot on fathers that either do it wrong or not at all, or give opinions, but we need to showcase and really highlight and lift up the brothers that are really making an impact in their children's lives or in the lives of children around them. I think that the tide in terms of what's been happening in the community, I think more men are taking up the mantle of understanding what fatherhood is in attempting to step forward with that.
Right.
And I don't believe that to this day it is still given the attention in a positive way that it should be.
What would you, something in Mandarin, huh? Okay, what would you like us to cover?
Well, I think what's very important to cover, which is should be taught in high school, is like how to buy a home and what's a loan and taxes and everything. Because I know in high school
financial literacy, I think they call it.
Yes.
You serious? You want to do that?
Well, I mean, I'm saying it should be taught in high school, because after high school, we were really kind of like in denial on how to like buy a car, and like we don't know what to do and everything. We don't have the resources or the tools or the knowledge to know how to, do these things. So it should be important to taught in high school, so that when we get out of high school, we can have the better knowledge to, learn and everything. So
a lot of folks never find out.
Yeah, especially
and then they way in debt, and their credit score is like nothing. And yes.
So,
Look, getting off to a good start financially is right up at the top of the list of living, period.
Exactly. It's our main responsibility.
Oh, yeah. Because when you get down, you got to pay your own bills.
And bills are the devil.
You ain't lying.
Then she's getting close to being on her own. So, I got a couple. I'd like us to do something, and this is really for a lot of reasons, but particularly because of the young people I work with. I got to do this thing about social media. I got to have a whole thing on social media, and we did this before, and I called it "Do you control it or does it control you?" Right?
Okay.
And I don't like it at all. And because I see people get abused and abuse it, and as far as I'm concerned, it controls their life. And I probably need to hear from people who have control over it. But as far as the young people I work with, it's like, they just
can't put it down.
Well, it's now. I guess this one young lady that that we work with said. Young people they get their validation from it.
Wow.
And that was striking that she used that word. And I was looking for the word, and she said, their validation.
Validation.
Yes, that's a heavy word.
Wow.
Sense of self, who you are. And that's why I said, do you control it or does it control you? I just see that as a downfall of so many people.
Yeah.
Who are just. It's like its own matrix. They get into it and they can't get out of it. Also, then this is thing. I have this, I got a bad back, right? But I found this guy who was like, I guess right now, I have a trainer who was trying to take care of my back. And I was talking to him one day, and he said, Doc. And we got to talking, and he does online dating.
Okay.
And I'm like, online dating? And look, and he went through this whole thing about how he does it. And it was fascinating. And I was like, what? And the more he told me, the more and he went through the horror stories and the this and the that and the that. And so, since I got into that, I'm like, maybe I am the only one who isn't. He is. And then he's like, so I'm thinking, then he started telling me, and he's not young. No. So then
So you want us to make you a Tinder profile?
No,
is that what you're getting at, Doc?
I want to know.
We can set you up, Doc.
No, that's the whole point. Remember how you did the show? Wait a minute. No, I don't want that. Remember how we did the show of Teach Me About the Music? I always want to be up on the music.
Yes,
I just want to know this. This is a whole world that I don't know about.
Well, I can tell you that. Yeah, we can have that discussion.
I want to have that show. And I want to hear about the ups and downs, the ins and the outs. And
it's some real lows there, bro.
That's what I want to know about. I want to know.
Some deep valleys in that online
That's exactly why I want to. And I don't want to wait till Valentine's Day, because some of this ain't Valentine's stuff. It's like the other way. And I really want to do. I want to know. I mean, I bet you if I read who does it in here, who does online dating?
Yeah.
See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I'm on all the sites.
You don't do it. You don't do it. See, now, I thought everybody young did. They told me anybody between 20 and 30. That's the only way they meet people. You know.
I'm not gonna say the only way that a lot of people meet, but it's certainly
a primary way. Primary way.
Definitely.
And I learned just now a little conversation as he was making me scream as he pulled something that needed to be straightened out. I mean, it's not just I knew about the apps, I knew about the websites.
Yeah.
eHarmony and all that. But he said it ain't about that now. It's just apps.
Oh, it's the apps now.
See, I don't know about that, right?
It's the apps now, yeah.
And they just, ladies still, how I find out? They just put a picture.
I don't know anything
and I know
about
you don't.
online dating.
I know, and see,
what do you
I
mean
just want to know.
Lady Estelle,
how do you?
We can make you a Soul Swipe account too if you trying to get on that.
Soul
Swipe. See, I got
about that Soul Swipe.
What does that mean?
You know about that Soul Swipe?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
It's Chocolate City on your phone. When you're going through it, you basically it's built primarily for black folks, and you can go through there. It's just like Tinder. They got Tinder, they got Soul Swipe, they got all of them.
That's what we want to do, and I want people to call in
I'll tell you all
and
the
talk
free
about
ones.
their experiences. Because if you said there's lows, I want to know. I want to know. I really do want to know. I mean, if that's how they do it now.
It happens. Yeah. Bumble. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I talked to Malcolm. He was telling me all this stuff too.
Oh yeah.
So, Bree, do we mind us doing a show on that? Is that good? Is that cool? Okay. But social media in general and the whole thing about online, I just want to know. This is inquiring. I want to know what's going on.
I got some Tinder horror stories. I'm not.
That's what I'm waiting. Wait for the show. I bet you do.
Yeah.
I bet you do. I look at your face.
I got some good stuff that happened off.
Well, I know this. Yeah, but I mean, Lisa.
No.
Oh, and Mr.
She said no.
Any topic you want? And these are our usual ones, right? Voting. We got to talk about voting because we're into, I mean, trying to stay away from, but we got to do it. All right. That was good. We kind of moving along. What? Why are you doing that? You put your music on.
Okay, well then, how would you like to close out, Dr. Marshall?
Oh, I don't know. You got your consider. No. Oh, you didn't do a consider this?
That's funny that you would say that now. So no, how would you like to close out?
Oh, well,
we can hear something from the Akins clan, or we can have something from Ann. We can even have Bree say a few words if G-Biz has something we want to close out with. But one thing we do know is it's important to do what? Stay alive and free. And after that,
we do. You caught me off. I thought you were getting ready to read something. Okay, let's see. I'll read the topics again.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go over the topics.
All right, food and diet.
All right.
We do this down. Patriotism.
Yeah.
And the flag. Fathers who are doing it right.
Mm-hmm.
Financial literacy, right? Social media.
Yeah.
Online. I'm so curious. We could start that show right now. No, okay.
Online dating.
All right.
Doc want us to put him on Plenty of Fish.
I want to know what the hell is.
Put him on a Soul Swipe.
Plenty of Fish. Yeah, we'll make him a Soul Swipe.
I don't even know what Soul Swipe is.
We'll get you on there, Doc.
If I can't meet at the library, I ain't meeting. Okay.
That's all good. We'll find you a young Tinder on
voting, and I don't know if there's anything else that we can throw in here.